Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel Biodiversity and Conservation. My name is Subhalakshmi Rao from Ambika Prasad Research Foundation, Odisha, India, and we are continuing our series on birds of India, and today we are going to study about Mynas of India, part 6. Now, why Mynas are called Mynas? Actually, Myna is derived from Hindi language, that is Myna, and Myna itself is derived from Sanskrit word Madana. Madana means joyful, or it represents happiness, bubbling, all that thing. So this probably refers to the bubbly notes of the hill manna. Hill manna is actually the bird which has a melodious voice, and it it also mimics the sound of human. So this mana word comes from these songs, or the capacity of this bird to mimic the humans. Now, myna birds come from the Sternidae or starling family. Like starling family means rosy starling, Asian pied starling, Brahmi starling. They all belong to the same family, Sternidae. Now, some interesting facts about mynas. The word "maina" is, as we came from the previous slide, that it is a Hindi word, maina, and somewhere it also signifies as messenger of God. And in some maina birds, like hill maina, as we discussed earlier, that they have the ability to speak. That means they mimic the humans better than a parrot sometimes. So, and the bird, um, that is Gracula religiosa. It is actually common hill manna only. Um, it got its epithet, meaning the specific epithet like religiosa, because earlier in the history, it was seen that the bird was taught to recite prayers. You can easily recite the prayers um, from listening to the pundits and all. And the Sri Lanka hill manna appears on the country's 10 rupees postage stamp. Means in now also we are using postal stamps, but their use has decreased because of technology. But uh, in Sri Lanka, the postal stamp has uh, Sri Lankan hill manna emblem, and the Sema Nagas people actually they think that as the bird can mimic the human speech, so they believe that the bird is reincarnated human, carnated human. So, and a human can't eat another human, so they believe that they shouldn't eat the pied manna. Now, the scientific classification: Mynas belong to kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Aves, order Passeriformes, and family Sternidae, the starling family. And if you see the diversity of mynas in India, we have 7 types of mynas in India: common myna, bank myna, jungle myna, common hill myna, southern hill myna, golden crested myna, great myna. Now we will study one by one. First one is common myna or Indian myna, Acridotheris tristis, and as we can see, this myna was first discovered by Linnaeus in 1766, and it is an omnivorous bird. That means it eats both plants and animals like fruits, berries, and sometimes insects. So, if we have to identify or describe this bird, we will go through one by one characters. First one is its appearance, that its plumage is brown color, and the head or the hood is black, so it's black hooded, and it has a bare yellow patch behind the eye, which is its identifying feature, and the bill and legs are bright yellow. And there is also a white patch on the outer primaries. Primaries means the primary feathers on the wings, and the wing lining on the underside is also white. The sexes are similar in appearance, and the birds are usually seen in pairs. And actually, because of their um, migration or their um, range, the common manna is increasing in population very quickly. So in Australia, actually, it was declared one of the most invasive species because it poses a severe threat to their biodiversity, agriculture, and human interests. Now, it is actually native to Asia and nearby countries, but has also been introduced to many other parts of the world. And the habitat is typically open woodland, cultivation lands, um, urban and suburban environments, and they are believed to pair for life, and normally they breed throughout the year depending on the conditions like location, nest building capacity, etc. And the feed on insects, arachnids, crustaceans, reptiles, small mammals, seeds, grains, and fruits. And it actually searches for insects, especially grasshoppers on the ground. This gives their generic name, that is Acridotheres, meaning grasshopper hunter. And they build their nests in a tree or wall, and their clutch size means the number of eggs are they lay about 4 to 6 eggs, and the nesting material usually includes twigs, roots, tissue papers, tin foils, etc. And due to their aggressiveness, they have been a threat to other birds, other native birds, um, and which reduces the reproductive success of the native birds. And sometimes they feed on tropical fruits, ground dwelling insects, and which creates food deficiency for the native birds also. That's why Australia has declared this bird as um, invasive species. Next one is bank manna, Acridotheres gingenianus, and it is smaller but similar in coloration to common manna, but it differs by having brick red and naked skin behind the eye instead of yellow. And their name actually is derived from their habit of building nests near in the earthen banks of rivers, where they dug out burrows and breed in large colonies. So, if we have to describe or identify this bird, then we have to see that its head is black on the ground and sides, and the upper plumage is dark gray, and while the underside is lighter gray with pale pink plumage towards the center of the abdomen. And the wing is black but has a wing patch at the base, of the primaries, and the tips of the outer tail feathers are pale pinkish in color. And the naked skin behind the eye is brick red, and the legs are yellow while the iris is deep red. Young birds have browner head and neck. They are mainly found near open water and cultivated farmland, open country, but nowadays it can be seen within cities, in markets, railway stations. It is almost restricted to Indian subcontinent. They feed on grain, insects, and fruits. Mainly, they feed on ripening crops of grapes, sorghum, etc. And they also feed on variety of insects, uh, especially a moth, Archaea janata. Its common name is castor semilooper, whose caterpillars feed on castor plant. So this is their favorite food. The breeding season is from May to June, and they nest from April to July or August. They build nest on earth walls, banks of rivers, etc. And their clutch size is 4 to 5 pale sky blue color or greenish blue color eggs. Next one is jungle manna, Acridotheris fuscus, and it is distributed across the mainland of Indian subcontinent, but absent in the arid zones of India. They are easily recognized by the tuft of feathers on its forehead that form a frontal crest. You can see the hair um, at the base of the beak. And if you have to identify this bird, you have to see for gray plumage, darker on the head and wings, and a large white wing patches on the base of the primaries, which is easily seen in flight. And the tail feathers are um, broadly tipped in white, and the bill and legs are bright yellow, and there is no bare skin around the eye. And the base of the beak is dark in adults with a shade of blue at the base of the lower mandible. And the juveniles are browner with a pale throat and along the median of the underside. They are found in forest cultivation lands and often close to open water. They are also omnivorous. They feed on insects, fruits, and seeds, and they usually eat berries of Lantana camara, low bushes. It is commonly called putush, and take nectar from large flowers of trees like Erythrina paldua, which they also pollinate with their tough feathers acting as brush. And they also perch on grazing mammals, picking the ectoparasites of their bodies. And the breeding season is mainly summer or before the rains, that is February to May in southern India and April to July in northern India. They are secondary cavity nesters, that is, they use the um, holes or man-made constructions um, rather than building their own. And they have clutch size of 4 to 6 turquoise blue eggs, and both sexes take part in nest building and incubation and feeding the young. This one is common hill manna, Gracula religiosa, and um, it is stocky jet black in appearance with bright orange and yellow patches of naked skin and fleshy wattles on the side of its head and neck. It is larger than common manna. It has overall green glossed black plumage, and uh, purple tinged on the head and neck, and uh, the bill and legs are bright yellow, and there are yellow wattles on the nape and under the eye, and the yellow wattles actually extend from the eye to the nape where they join. Here I have shown the um, picture of only yellow wattles at the back of the head where they join, and their habitat is mostly they are arboreal and found in tree tops at the edge of the forest, and it hops sideways along the branch, unlike the jaunty walk of other manas. They are also omnivores and feed on fruit, nectar, and insects. The breeding season is from April to July, and they build nests in a hole in a tree, and the clutch size is 2 to 3 eggs, and they can produce 2 to 3 broods per year. The next one is Southern Hill Manna, Gracula indica. Here it has shiny black plumage, and the legs are yellow. The beak is bright orange at the base and yellow at the tips, and it has white spots on the primary feathers on wings, and the yellow wattles present on head are separate and curved towards the top of the head. Here I have shown in this picture separately only with the head portion of the bird, and it is present in southwestern India and Sri Lanka. They inhabit in tropical and subtropical dry broadleaf forests, mountains, mangrove forests, and plantation areas. And their breeding season is from February to May in South India and March to September in Sri Lanka. They feed fruits, nectar, and insects, and they make nests in the holes in a tree, and their clutch size is 2 to 3 greenish blue eggs with brown spots. And the next one is golden crested myna, Ampeliceps coronatus. This bird is medium sized and with a short square ended tail, and the bare skin around the eye extends back to form point behind the eye, and the male has golden yellow forehead to crown and nape forming crest and extending anteriorly down to chin, while the rest of the plumage is black glossed with purple on the side of face, mantle, and chest, and it, it appears glossy with blue green color on rump and upper belly. Their wings are black with white patch on inner side of the primary feathers and yellow patch on the outer side. The tail is black, iris dark brown, bare skin around the eye is yellowish pink in color, the bill is yellow in color with bluish base, and legs are dull orangish in color. And the female also looks like the male but have less gold on head, and the juvenile is duller and browner than adult. The distribution is it is found in northeast India, Myanmar, China, Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, etc. And the habitat is lowland evergreen forest, deciduous and mixed woodland, open forest, etc. They primarily feed on fruits, but sometimes they also eat insects. And the breeding season is from April to August, and they make nests with the grass in the tree holes. Their clutch size is 3 to 4 blue-green eggs with brown blotches concentrated at the thicker end. And this one, last one, is Great Myna, Acridotheris grandis, and this is this bird is black in color, and the forehead feathers are elongated, forming a frontal crest that may curl backwards, which is different in case of jungle manna. The feathers of crown and nape elongate and appear hackled, and the plumage is black with some gloss on back and wings. White patches are seen on primaries, and iris is reddish brown. Bill is chrome yellow in color, and legs are yellow in color. And the juvenile have a duller or browner appearance than adult, with very short frontal crest, and they're distributed in Northeast India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, China, Thailand, and they are mostly found in open countries such as grasslands and marshes, including cultivated areas, rice fields, parks, and gardens. They mainly feed on insects, but sometimes they feed on seeds and berries. They extract insects from grasses and ticks from cattle. Their breeding season is from April to August, and the nest that they make is untidy structure of grass placed in hole higher in the tree or on the crown of coconut tree or in house roof or in drainage hole in the wall, and their clutch size is 4 to 6 deep blue eggs. Thank you.